We're talking to Mr. Terry Huddleston, and he's going to tell us something about his career. First, we want to know, how did you get into this business?
Well, I got into this business basically because I've been an artist, since I was a little kid, like most of the artists here. And I never really thought of it as a career. It was just something I did as a hobby. But due to a series of events that kind of culminated into the perfect storm that caused me to be more ambitious, I decided to quit my job at this factory warehouse and pursue art full time, because I realized if I didn't dedicate 100% of the time to doing what I wanted to do in life, I'll never get to do what I wanted to do in life. I'll always be doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So, long story short, I made a decision to do artwork 100% of the time, and it really paid off by a lot of good business decisions I made early on, and learning a lot of business. Read a lot of business books as well. So my advice to anybody who wants to get into artwork is the first thing you do is not get an art book, get a business book, and then go from there. And maybe read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That guy owes me a quarter for that plug.
Okay, why should we get the business book?
Well, because the business books teaches you the fundamentals that you can build any foundation on. Like, I can basically pack up this artwork right now and sell cakes to people if I wanted to. If you know how to sell something, you can sell anything. It just so happens I'm a businessman that can draw, so I can produce my own products. But had it been the other way around, basically I would have been selling something. It just so happened as a hobby, I was an artist, but I knew I wanted to start my own business. It just turns out, like I said, I was already in the comic book, so it was a perfect match.
Do you stay in one place for long? That means you travel a lot.
I travel a lot because the industry basically travels a lot. So, obviously I live in Indiana, but I actually don't do a lot of business in my own hometown. As they say, the prophet is never accepted in his own hometown. But, the industry is booming. Even with the bad economy, I've done way better than most of my friends that have 9-to-5 jobs. Only because basically if you're willing to travel to where the resources and money is, then you're always going to have a market.
Well, you have some fantastic pictures here. How long does it take you to draw one? Very nice.
Depending on what it is, it can take 4 to 9 hours. I actually have a built-in rule not to take too long on any one piece, because like I said, as a business guy, it's all about profit margin. So if you got too much time into one thing and it's not going to sell for any more or less than whatever else you got, then basically you're wasting time. And as the old saying goes, time is money, especially when you're your own factory.
So how do you get your artwork printed? Because certainly you have thousands of copies.
Right. Basically, I print through a company called Rink Printing. As another business connection I made, being an artist, this is something that you realize reading business books. You partner up with the people that take care of you, and I take care of them by bringing them new clients, and I still basically get compensated for doing what I already do, which is going around the country selling artwork. But now I'm just augmenting that by selling printing as well, but I don't have to do any of the printing work. So, once again, this is the synergy you get from reading business books. You never want to be the guy doing all the work.
What's that angel that reached out to you when you were trying to get into this business?
I'm not even going to lie. I don't got that kind of story. Basically, I've always been good at being able to see things and reverse engineer how people do things. So the worst thing you can do for me is to let me get a glimpse of your process. Because I'll take it and I'll innovate it. I'll take it and basically flip it and add stuff to it. As you look around, and this is not me being arrogant, but if you look around at my display compared to anybody else, I got the biggest display in here. There's nothing stopping nobody else from getting a bigger display than me, but they don't do it because they don't think about innovation and supersizing. What's up, Scarlet Spider? So that's basically my whole thing is I'll take something and augment it to suit my purposes and overdo it. Because I look at myself like people look at McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't have a great hamburger, right? You could cook a better hamburger than McDonald's. But how come you don't have their money? It's marketing. Marketing. So if you learn how to market yourself, be big and bold, you're on the highway driving, you see that McDonald's M from miles away. You don't see the mom and pop shop store, and so your brain says McDonald's. Same mentality goes into making my sign, into making my branding, into why my artwork's so poppy and bold is because it's all about standing out from the crowd.
Let's talk about the writing.
All right.
Put those words into those characters' mouths.
Well, actually, I don't do a lot of writing myself. I do a lot of concept building, and I like coming up with ideas. Like I said before, I like looking at other people's story tropes and taking their tropes and basically rearranging them into something that's going to be marketable and profitable. You know, that's really, I'm a profit-driven artist. I'm not just makes me feel good type art. Making money makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
What is the most exciting thing that has happened in your life as far as your career? And then I want you to tell me the downside.
Okay, the most exciting thing to my career is what I mentioned before, is making lots of money on doing something you love. It's something that your brainchild, you come up with it, and then you reap the results. You kind of feel like a farmer. You know exactly how farmers feel, because you got to plant seeds early on. You can't eat your seeds. You can't eat the $200 you just got from this job. You got to take that money and invest it in something else that's going to get you money maybe half a year later. 6 months later, you're going to see the money, your $200 is going to turn into $3,000. But you got to get into that mindset of planning a little bit of money early on, which Americans are horrible at. And this current crisis shows that we spend. We don't invest. And investing, by the way, to give a quick, is not saving money. Saving money is not investing money. Investing money is paying a little bit of money into something that's going to get you a lot of money later. It's saying, hey, I'm going to buy this new tool that's going to make me more money later. Not I'm going to buy me a flat screen TV. That's not going to make me any money later. So, now the downsides is basically you go through seasons of dryness in the beginning, only because you really don't know what you're doing. You're learning as you go. Business is very organic. It's not something you can get all the technical rules for and then go out there and implement the rules. You have to basically take a lot of events as they come along, and so you're constantly changing your strategies on the fly. So the worst thing you can do is have a dogmatic business sense where, like, I'll never do this, I'll never change this. No, you better, it's just like a marriage. You better be flexible. If you want it to last, you better go, okay, I'll go shoe shopping with you if you go to the comic book shop with me. Same thing with business. Like, well, I better draw these certain characters because everybody loves them, and then I'll slide a little bit of what I want to do in there as well. So the downside is in the first 3 years are gonna be you're gonna be poor. You're gonna be in poverty type poorness, to misuse the word poor. But and this is business across the board. You can read it 5 years. The 5th year is when you start reaping benefit. But just like I said before, if you're not investing in those drought years, you'll never get to where you're successful and you can live from your artwork, because you're always eating your investment money as you go. You got to pay this bill. You got to pay this bill. So let me say another third thing about this, because it's not about me. It's about what I call my tribe. It's about my close friends and family that supported me during the drought. If you don't have that, then you can forget about it. Work your 9 to 5. If you don't have a support group, if you don't have a wife or a husband, if you're a woman or if you're gay, then you're not going to be able to make this. You can't do this alone. You can't live in a bubble. You have to interact with people. You got to be able to realize that people are your greatest asset. If you invest in people, they'll invest back in you. Let me tell you basically what I did. I had a home invasion, got my house robbed, and then the place I was working, I got demoted in the same month. So I was in a pretty depressed state. And when it was a 9/11 event is what I call it, where everything you believe in kind of crumbles down. Your security is gone and your job security is gone. So you realize that you've been playing it safe for no reason. Why have I been so safe in life and not taking risks when bad stuff can still happen to you? So once I realized that you're never safe, then I started taking more calculated risks. Emphasize on calculated risks, not just doing risky behavior, but saying, hey, I'm going to try to start an art business. Why not? What do I have to lose? As opposed to what I have to gain. So basically, once I got that gave me the support, the motivation I needed, and more so than my parents, to go out and achieve.
So what is Terry Huddleston's future?
Well, my future basically...
what do you have on your agenda that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, what my overarching dream since I was a little child. The only reason I ever started drawing is because I always wanted to make films. And so comic books were an easier way to make films. You can control everything. You can put any actor you want in there. And so I still have that. I want to basically get to where I'm producing film. I don't want to be the director. I want to be the guy producing films and putting out ideas and having young, fresh minds take them and innovate them, basically. So I want to get paid for the space between my ears eventually.
Well, I wish you the best. You seem to be doing all right.
Well, yeah, it's been nice. I mean, it's nice now, but, there was a time, like I say, where it wasn't so nice, but, you got to go through that. Like I said, my advice to anybody is start now. There's no better time like right now to start your own business.